Hi friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. Hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Been watching a bit of the news over the weekend and a question popped into my head and I'd really like to get your feedback on it. Do you feel safer now than maybe you did a year ago? Stick around, I've got some thoughts. So my thoughts on this are twofold. I think the first part, and it's pretty important considering the events of the past weekend, is the foreign threat, the foreign terrorism threat. We've recently ended our military campaign in Afghanistan, and through hook or by crook, we left billions of dollars of military hardware, equipment, vehicles, machine guns, helicopters, ground vehicles, you name it. So the Taliban, who's now in charge in Afghanistan, has its own air force. It's got probably some of the most sophisticated night vision gear. So they can own the night, which I think, had kind of a market on that particular strategy and advantage. But they've got it all now, and it's just kind of one of those terrible things that has happened over the last 8 months since the new administration has been in power. But I'm also hearing that our friends in North Korea have restarted their cruise missile testing. Now, there's really only one reason that you'd want to have a cruise missile going, and that's to carry a warhead. Now, I don't think these are long-range intercontinentals by any stretch of the imagination, but they are sure big enough to reach from North Korea to Japan or anything within that circle around North Korea. And why are they doing that? I don't know, but I sense they smell weakness. They didn't do it when the previous administration was there and kind of held their feet to the fire, and they stopped testing and doing all that kind of stuff. The third threat that I've recently heard about is the Iranian threat. They've been pretty active regurgitating their training for terrorisms in places that they control in Iran. They've begun doing drone strikes and targeted a tanker, and a Brit lost his life, and I think a Norwegian maybe lost his life. So they're regaining their activity right now, and I certainly don't think that re-entering the Iranian deal was a really smart idea, and I think the Iranians can also smell weakness, and they're taking advantage of it and flexing their muscles. So the second part of it, from my perspective, and I really am interested in your perspective as commenters on this particular video. The question is, do you feel any more safe now than you did maybe a year ago with all the things that have been going on? Internally and domestically, I'm very concerned about the growing influence and the growing threat of the left right here in the United States. They've got pretty much full control of the media. They've got pretty much full control of academia, the universities and colleges. They've got pretty much full control of entertainment industry, and they are making huge inroads into our Congress. Certain of the elected House of Representatives are pure-born Marxists, and they are pushing everything leftist, and Marxist as they can. And they push and they don't stop. And I'm very concerned about the influence that they're having in our country right now. I see these pop-up interviews from time to time on the news or on YouTube where young Americans, young conservatives are interviewing folks on college campuses, and they're calling for like non-discrimination. They're pulling flags up that were set out to commemorate the nearly 3,000 lost lives of 9/11, and they caught a kid, student, actually a student Senate representative in his student body, pulling up thousands of flags all over the campus. And you know, he's trying to make a statement. I don't think it's the right statement. It's taken less than 20 years, and it seems like we forgot. But what I'm thinking, bottom line, is that college kids, high school kids, junior high, even elementary kids are not being taught the values, the ethics, and the morality of what this country stands for. They're missing out on it. They're being taught that we're an evil, imperialistic, evil capitalism, bad stuff. We founded the country on slavery, and we shouldn't be allowed to exist anymore. And it's kind of sad. So I'm pretty well convinced that the left has made its mark in academia, and we're going to be paying for that for quite a long time. The whole generation that's coming up right now really don't get it. They don't understand what freedom and liberty really is all about. The entertainment industry, Hollywood, movies, you name it, even music, it's all turned political, and it's all turned to the left. They're pushing leftist ideas, and it's destroying what's going on in this country, and I'm very, very concerned about what's really happening. In the Congress, obviously, we just talked about it. We've got a couple, maybe a half a dozen avowed Marxists sitting in the halls of Congress right now doing their thing. And they're pushing left, and they're pushing the White House left. Joe Biden, God bless his soul, but he has no idea what's really going on. And his handlers are very far left. They're pushing him very far left. When he's talking about vaccine mandates and all that kind of stuff, and he's saying it's not about your freedom, well, yeah, it is. But you do what you need to do with respect to your own health, and I'll do what I need to do with respect to my own health. Authoritarianism. I just finished reading a couple of really good, brand new books on authoritarianism. One by Ben Shapiro and one by Mark Levin. And they both give me an eye-opening look at the rhyme, reason, and rationale for what the left is standing for right now. And it's extremely dangerous. So I'll ask the question again. Do you feel any safer now after a year, within the last year? Do you feel safer now that the Taliban is in control of Afghanistan, that the Iranians are flexing their muscles again, that the North Koreans are started retesting cruise missiles? Do you feel safer now? I'm not sure I do. Do you feel safer now that the left is pretty much in control of so many facets of our society? I'm very concerned about the direction that this country's going in. I'd like to hear what your thoughts are. Hang in there. Be prepared. Be prepared always. This is the Prepared Suburbanite, and I'll see you all on the next video.